So today I wanted to talk about commitments versus feeling. And what I'm talking about is how we decide what actions we're going to take. We're going to take it based on how we're feeling or based on a commitment. And I'll be honest, this has been a radical shift in the way I've been thinking about things. When I was relieved of my employment responsibilities, I was excited because now I was going to be free to do whatever I felt like. I was going to be free to write, going to be free to make and create, and I would finally produce the creative work that I wanted. But I found that without any sort of structure or without a commitment to myself, I did not create. I did not write. I did not do any of those things because as I went with the flow, whatever I felt like doing was usually sleeping another hour or watching another Netflix episode or cracking a beer. And so going with the flow, going with the feeling of that moment was often far less of a productive measure, far less in alignment with what my goal and my desire and my self-image of who I am is. Because in the moment, I am not in my deepest power and my strength. In the moment, I am sometimes weak. I am sometimes in reaction to my environment. I'm sometimes feeling anxiety or feeling fear. And so those subtle things around the outskirts shape how I'm feeling, and then my actions are not in alignment with my true self. My actions are in alignment with a ego self. My actions are actually contrary to the person that I'd like to be. I think what it comes down to is a battle between short-term goals and long-term goals. Short-term, I'd like to sleep another hour. Long-term, I'd like to be writing more. I'd like to be exercising. At the end of the day, I would much rather I have listened to my commitment rather than to my feeling. And I'm not talking about feeling like love or joy or inspiration or intuition. I'm talking about just how I'm feeling in the moment. What do I feel like doing? People might feel like this is in contrast to a Taoist, go with the flow type mentality. But I would argue that that is short-sighted. Because the Tao is not whatever is happening in the moment. The Tao is this grand flow among all things. And so tuning into the larger picture, the long term, is critical. Because what I feel like doing in this moment is yelling out the window at that person who cut me off. What I feel like doing in this moment is eating that third Twinkie. But all of these actions in the moment are somewhat destructive. They're not in alignment to my higher self. They're not in alignment with the divine presence that I feel like I am. They're not in alignment with my purpose from a grand cosmic sense. So I'm actually at odds with the flow when I am acting in a momentary what I feel like doing. This is significantly different than the philosophy that I have been working towards recently. But I've discovered that having faith that doing whatever I feel like doing will lead me to where I need to be is not entirely true. I cannot totally trust my whims to get me to where I want to go. So the act of making a commitment from a place in alignment with myself allowed me to put together a game plan for myself, not to get anywhere, not to reach any goals, not to hit some success measure that's outside of myself, but merely gave me a structure to be the person that I feel like I am. And that has made all the difference. Thank you. I love you.